Okay.
I think we're live. Good.
Yes, guys, Dmitry, Dima, please let us know if you can hear us well.
Yeah, guys, I think we're live and we have first watchers, first people joining us. Great, and welcome. Welcome. We're all welcoming you in today's presentation webinar of our anticipated product Stobox 4, all-in-one solution for asset tokenization. And we have here myself, founder of Stobox and CEO, Gene Ideyev, and we have co-founder and COO and a friend of mine, Ros Shamilak. Good. So we're welcoming and we see more people are joining us. So yes, guys, first of all, thank you for joining this presentation, this webinar. It's a very important moment for us as we're sharing our job, what we've achieved, and what we're doing with respect to asset tokenization in general, and with respect to our anticipated platform, the next generation platform, what we call a powerful compliance-first platform that brings institutional grade tokenization to businesses of all sizes. So again, welcome, and let's move on. And before we move on with the actual presentation, I would like to make a pause here and so tell more about who we are and where we come from. It's quite important that we've been in the industry since the inception of the industry back in 2018. We're almost 7 years in the market. We have a beautiful team of 40 plus members. Here you can see only several of key players here. We are a registered and regulated business under VASP regime in European Union, which is a virtual asset service provider, and we're upgrading to MiCA, which is very important for us at the moment. We're also a part of as a member of the Blockchain for Europe Association, where we contribute and actually where we drive tokenization narratives and make tokenization a part of our everyday life. And the last but not least, we've recently become a member of Qatar Financial Center of Digital Assets Labs, where we share our vision, our technologies with our partners in the MENA region. So as Stobox, we've been here for a while, and now we're presenting you our fourth generation platform of asset tokenization. It's very important to emphasize the DNA of our company and what we build and what we bring. We focus on real world assets, right, as the main narrative. We focus on the Web3, which is an integral part of what we're doing is the Web3 technologies. We do emphasize on the importance of the compliance part, because as a RWA narrative is built around the businesses, so compliance is the important factor or critical factor to whatever is being done on the blockchain side. We've recently, with the AI development and rapid development, we recently added a AI narrative into Stobox DNA, and I will show you, and we will show you where it comes into tokenization. And it's also very important to acknowledge that we are behind what is called a data-rich format, data-rich token. Again, we will speak on this a bit later, but it's important to actually bring real-life data on chain. This is that we call the data-rich tokens. So all these narratives are a part of the DNA of our company. Yes, Russ, you would like to?
Yes, exactly. So we already have an extensional experience and traction in the RWA industry from the early beginning. And as so far, we have more than 100 clients around the world from 5 continents, and we have tokenized more than 500 millions in form of assets. And why we are here to present our next generation of our ecosystem that we call Stobox 4. And this is the presentation of our product that we just recently launched in beta. And it's like the quintessence of 7 years of our experience. And it is one place through which you can trade, manage your RWA, tokenize the businesses, store your RWA, and invest in RWA that Jin will explain further. But as a Stobox, we are for a while in this business, and also we have a massive traction from their media perspective. Jin is also their contributor to the tech.eu. It is one of the biggest technology media in Europe. I'm the official contributor and expert at Cointelegraph, the biggest media outlet in blockchain and finance. And now we are very glad to present for you our new product that will allow for businesses and for investors much different experience in RVA.
Thank you, Ross. So let's move on with and before we continue, let's also make a pause and let's talk about what is tokenization, what are RWAs. So for people who don't actually know, I just want to recap on this. Tokenization is the process of actually converting an ownership of any real world assets onto the blockchain in a form of blockchain tokens, right? So the blockchain token can now represent something which is connected to a real life, like a share or a part of the real estate or even IP rights. So the ability to actually convert the ownership and the records of those assets onto the single ledger is what is called the tokenization. And it's also important that it's not just creating a token, but it's a full process of merging the real legal ownership of the asset with the blockchain. And when we say RWAs, we mean basically any physical asset that we have around ourselves. It can be energy projects, it can be real estate, it can be private equity, it can be watches, anything. So anything as a good as an asset can be represented in that form, and there's multiple advantages. And the reason is like, why would we tokenize? So imagine tracking your assets on the same ledger where billions of tokenized dollars exist, right? Where you have a global registry of the assets of different issuers that can now be traded and be accounted in a immune ledger of the blockchain itself. So there's a numerous potential how you can increase liquidity, for example, for your business, how you can globally fundraise by putting your shares, for example, on the blockchain or giving certain securities, private company securities on the blockchain. You unlock fractional ownership, which is a great opportunity for assets of a high value be divided and offered to investors at a smaller checks. And obviously, you can automate this process and expand this process. So the tokenization gives an ultimate tool of not only accounting, but actually bringing those assets to the global markets, the global capital markets, and within one ledger. And that's a huge transformation that is happening at the moment. And we will speak on this as well. Ross, would you like to add here something?
Yeah, thank you, Jin. So tokenization, it is the process of converting some physical assets such as real estate, commodities, securities into the blockchain tokens. For what? So for the companies, it is the ability to fundraise globally, because now you have one place, one platform through which you can fundraise globally. And it is not just about the fundraising, it is about their extension to your business, because you can manage your cap table, your shareholders, you can pay dividend in one click. If you're well-funded company as well. So it is a new part of your extension to your business, like HubSpot for managing the CRM or Wix to manage your website. The same Stobox 4, it is to manage your company, to fundraise and manage your shareholders. And also the crucial part of the tokenization, it is a liquidity, because any asset that is liquid costs more than a liquid one. And through the tokenization, you can still be a private company and having the liquidity. So it is a crucial part of this process. And through the tokenization, we unlock from one side the businesses that can tokenize the assets, and from another side, the investors that can participate starting from $100 in a very transparent way, in a very simple way, and to diversify their portfolio.
Yes, thank you, Russ. That's exactly the point. And when we look at today's market, and we actually look what assets are being tokenized, not can be tokenized, but are tokenized, you will there's enough instruments now to look at the traction of the RWA market, but mostly you would see that the whole market is being kind of tokenized from a very institutional perspective. You see companies like BlackRock tokenizing government bonds in a form of yield generating tokens. You see even a tokenized cash is a process of tokenization where you tokenize dollars in a form of USDT or USDC. So we see a lot of interest from bigger institutions that adopt tokenization, as well as there's a companies like Franklin Templeton, for example, that are already tokenizing equity funds, hedge funds. So we see the tokenization adoption coming from the kind of ultra high net worth financial landscape from United States. And we also see there's a lot of interest from the real estate perspective, right? So if you look at what is being tokenized today, not every business associates itself with already existing traction, because everyday business is quite far away from the mutual funds or from government bonds. So there should be an instrument of for everybody to leverage tokenization in a better way, not just institutions. So we know that institutions grow, we know that they receive traction, but how does that benefit us? And we guys have the solution. After certain years of our work and experience, we are now able to deliver that solution, and that solution is Stobox 4. So our vision is that any business can be tokenized, right? Regardless whether it's institutional, if it's a private business, public business, but we say in our DNA, in our Stobox code, we say any business can be tokenized, can be brought on blockchain, and be brought in a way that the business benefits from the advantages that we've already mentioned, like fractional ownership, liquidity, and so on. So we built something, and Stobox 4 is that something that allow any business or almost any business to be tokenized. Please, Ross.
Exactly. So imagine that in reality, BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, they already tokenize themselves. By the way, just a few weeks ago, I participated at their Crypto Force roundtable organized by SEC in Washington, D.C., and I had a chance to speak to their BlackRock representatives, Franklin Templeton, Nasdaq, and so on. But the reality is that what changes in your life when BlackRock tokenizing their own fund? Not much. But what we believe and what is our vision, it is to bring tokenization on the streets, to unlock private companies, to unlock small and medium enterprises, to provide for them the same technology and principles that BlackRock utilize, but for their business. Because for small and medium enterprises, it is a game changer. It's transform their general lifestyle and general operations of the company. So we believe in small and medium enterprises, and we believe in community-driven businesses when you can attract funding not just from one VC, but with emerging social medias like YouTube, like TikTok, like X, Twitter, right? So you'll be able to share your vision, your spirit, your brand, to be able to fundraise for your activities. And it is exactly what we provide. So imagine and think about how you need to be price-wise, technology-wise, legal-wise, to be able to onboard thousands of projects on one platform with their easy onboarding. It is exactly what we built in Stobox 4 and that we will share with you today.
Yes, thank you, Ross. So you guys see the example of the screen of how any asset is represented. A part of the screen where you can see the asset itself, its life, right? If you look at the real estate now, you receive some pictures and some information on the doc file, and you assume that's a proposal. Now we bring that information into your screen, into the liveness, so you can check and look how asset is being traded in the moment, how it behaves, who is holding the asset. So you, by bridging this with the blockchain, you have a kind of a next level view on any asset that can be tokenized. So, but important to mention here that this vision is not something that does not come just now. We've been in the market for quite a long time. We have numerous clients. We see I think that's my connection, sorry. Since the beginning, we are focusing on delivering a turnkey tokenization to businesses and enterprises. And the vision that we're sharing with you is, again, the quintessence of problems, challenges, something that didn't work in the beginning. So we're rehashing, we kind of working with the product in order to build, in order to deliver a best performing and the easy to onboard for any business. Please, Ross.
Exactly. So far as I mentioned before, we tokenized more than 100 companies. So mainly the small and medium enterprises. 50% of them are from real estate industry, others from their energy, like solar panels, wind energy, mines, so extraction, and other private companies. So it is diverse, and we are not limit ourselves by the asset or the jurisdiction. It is just the matter of their underlying asset, their country of their SPV incorporation, and so on. That's why tokenization unlock many industries, and any private company can be tokenized. And it is exactly our vision to provide those technologies and to cover and to add value to as many industries as we can. That's why we have already more than 100 clients, and it is our asset of our company for 500 millions in form of assets of the clients. And through their Stobox 4, because it's now a scalable rails, we'll be able to tokenize not, for example, 20 companies per year, but 1,000 companies per month. That will explain further.
Yes, so on that note, we're moving on to sharing more details about the fourth generation of Stobox platform, Stobox 4. And we've outlined kind of main elements, and we put compliance in first, in the beginning. And it's very important to, again, to understand that businesses that actually, proper businesses that would like to utilize blockchain, they are legally bound, and you cannot skip compliance from that equation. So the beginning, or kind of the key part of the platform, is that the issuer, once creating a token, does it in a compliant way, the same as a investor. So the KYC, the anti-money laundering policies, the travel rules, and you name it. So all with respect to compliance are embedded into the Stobox 4. Because if you're a business and you're raising funds, you want to have these funds clear. You need them at a low risk. You don't want to have a high risk crypto on your account. So we make sure that you as an user, you as an investor, and you as an issuer leverage and benefit from that compliance, again because of the regimes, because it's their RWAs are primarily security tokens regulated. So that's an important part. The second part is the regulation. Again, we are Stobox 4 is registered in as a product in Poland. There's still a VASP or virtual asset service provider regime. However, it's being we're in the process of migrating to MiCA or MiCA. That's a new European regulations for managing crypto assets. Even though tokenized assets do not correspond to MiCA directly, it's a part of the ESMA securities regulation. Nevertheless, if we deal with the blockchain, and we do, the migration to MiCA is a part of our roadmap. Another important point is that as a turnkey provider, because we are in that position since the beginning, we provide a life cycle support for our issuers. So it's an end-to-end tokenization process and support. So we're not just creating a token and regardless and leave you as is. We are taking you by the hand from the beginning till the end of the process and make sure that your life with Stobox is better and you benefit from our services and our products, at a full pace. And the last but not least is that the platform is multi-jurisdictional, which means that if you are an issuer from the United States, you can accept investments from Europe, for example, or from Southeast Asia, and vice versa, which is quite difficult in a fiat world, in a traditional world. So we bridge regulations, we bridge compliance, we bridge technology in order to actually provide tokenization for you on a bigger, on a broader scale. So it's not about just fundraising on a local market, because the ledger is now global. We're talking about the blockchain, and the compliance is there, and all the tools are there. So your company now becomes a global company, even though it remains in your private hands or hands of your shareholders, which is so all these 4 points are, of the key importance to the DNA of the Stobox 4 product. Please, Ross.
Exactly. And I want to point out that there are Stobox and Stobox 4, and we as a technology provider, we are fully compliant in the US, in the UK, in Europe, in Qatar. By the way, we have their fintech license and business license in Qatar as well. So our technology is fully compliant in those regions. That's why we are able to provide our technology and our services to the broader scale of companies and jurisdictions. And one of the important parts of the platform, it is their institutional grade functionality as well. Together with API that we're building currently for the Stobox 4, we'll be able to connect not just small and medium enterprises, but also institutional players, so they can render tokenization from their behalf, but using the Stobox API and Stobox technology and innovations under the hood. So Stobox 4 becoming the central part and the DNA and the heart of the entire Stobox company. And we're currently building everything around Stobox 4. And we are very glad to present in the next slides and demo how it looks like and how simple is it. Because simplification, it is the key part of the Stobox 4 to provide a seamless investors onboarding and investors experience to be able to navigate easier than in Facebook or Revolut or any other financial service.
Yes, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see on the next slides. So yes, as we move on, let me start kind of in the next few slides. I would like to explain kind of the main elements of the Stobox 4 before we do the physical demo. And look, we've seen numerous cases. We've seen different companies coming from different jurisdictions with a different underlying asset, and there's hundreds of questions. Everybody asks different questions: how it should be done, why is that, why it's so, and there's a lot of resources put into the explanation and onboarding and making sure that clients and business issuers are happy. And after certain knowledge base that we've acquired throughout our journey, we made the decision to write and to create um, a framework, a framework that would actually allow any business to go through steps that I will go with you today, go through the steps, clear steps that would, imply different parts of the tokenization journey, starting from the asset to the asset jurisdictions, to the offering, to the proof of the asset, and so on. And we not only created the framework, we've utilized AI in order to learn this framework and to assist you guys, you as an issuers, on the journey. So any questions that our our clients have with respect to tokenization is now framed between the framework that answers the question how to tokenize, what questions should I fill in, what information should I provide for that process to be legally compliant and technically valid. That part with the AI, where any questions that arise can be, first of all, answered by AI. And if not, we are here to assist you and to help you on board. But that's a great tool to scale and to provide, onboarding to any size businesses without complex explanations. So we're kind of bridging the understanding of tokenization for private companies in one, I don't want to say in one slide, but in one part of the product. Yes, Ross. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So together with Stobox 4 beta launch, we are introducing our proprietary tokenization methodology about how to tokenize the assets. It is onboarding methodology that we embedded into the system. So by subscribing to the Stobox 4 that we'll discuss further, you will get the access to our methodology that you can complete by your own resources, by your legal team, or by the Stobox AI we created based on our 7 years of experience and 100 hours of our research spent in different nuances that you can
100,000
ask.
hours, my friend.
Yes,
Sorry.
100,000 hours that we
1,000 hours.
spent in R&D through different nuances, cases, pitfalls, regulations, best practices. And we created our own AI that is tied to our own proprietary tokenization methodology that you can navigate and ask questions that will assist you to complete it. So you have their variables, you have different options to complete tokenization framework by your own resources, by the AI, or reach out to Stobox and use our support to be able to complete it in a compliant manner. So Stobox 4 was launched together with our methodology and together with AI, because to be frank with you, that we see that in the current world, their knowledge becoming a commodity. That's why to have a scalable reels, we see their emerging of their AI in different industries. And Stobox not behind, Stobox in one step ahead. That's why we introduced our own AI that is fed by our knowledge base of our lifetime researches and their experience that we have.
Yeah, it's getting more and more information, making itself, more clever in respect of new regulations and understanding the market. So yeah, we're building an advanced tool for to onboard any business, but that would be nothing if without this. And this is the ability of the issuer, right, to create your own investor portal under your own domain. So you as a business now bring assets to life on your own domain, right? That is yours and under your name, and you can now offer your security tokens, your tokenized assets through your own customized website. Again, we will show it as well in today's presentation how it looks. We're still in beta mode. It's very important. We are gradually rolling out the product, but that's kind of a first and the primary elements of the system. So you're using your framework and AI in order to provide all the kind of inputs into tokenization and be able to create a token. You can put them on your own domain and offer them to your community because you can do so. That's your private owned security. So you can solicitate your own securities. There's no brokerage dealers behind. So you just extend your business with that term, offering tokenized products to your community. And when we say offer, we have to understand that this is a regulated security token offering. And that's also an integral part of the system, because you have the means, you have the vision where you show the investors what you have to offer, and you offer. So these three elements are of the primary importance of the platform, and we offer that. We build this under the one Stobox 4 main platform. So you can use the framework, understand how it works, use AI, open your privately owned website on your domain, and create a regulated STO out of it. Please, Ross.
Exactly. So together with Stobox 4 platform, we provide for you their, as Jim described, their investors, their issuers page under your domain, together with their page of your security token itself. So you will have, for example, rosshemelyak.com, and when you enter this website and press the button explore details about your tokenization project, you will see their issuers page together with security token page that goes together with the Stobox 4 in one package with their utilization of the platform. And yes, inside the Stobox 4, you'll be able to launch a different security tokens, and each security token will have its own parameters, for example, jurisdiction, for example, providing dividends or not. So they will have a certain parameters, and as a company, you can have a multiple security tokens. For example, their revenue share security token and their equity security token, or their bond security token. And it will be tied together to their Stobox 4 platform, so your investors will see a different investment opportunities or different options with the different terms to participate in.
It's better to see than to tell. So let's move on. Yeah, and that's we have a great news, guys, to share with you. And I would kindly ask Ross to comment on this. But before we do so, we already have the first clients on Stobox 4 onboarding. So once we're gonna go live fully with the clients, that will be in August this year. We already have the first client from Florida that I kindly ask Ross to dive into details on that unique opportunity for us.
Thank you, Gene. We just announced yesterday our collaboration with Repository RWA, a US-based company. So I just sent to the chat the link to our blog publication so you can check it out in details. But Eugene completely right. Repository RWA will be the first client of the Stobox 4. And I see also there James Strait, the CEO of the company, that is currently on this webinar. So it is great to see you, James, here. And it is a pleasure to working with you. And yes, Repository RWA is a US-based tokenization and real estate company focused on unlocking the liquidity and investment through the tokenization of real world assets. And the Repository RWA has the developments and projects in US, in Australia, in Morocco, and those projects will be brought to Stobox to be able for investors to participate. And repository RWA have a strong representation in the US, in the Florida state, across multiple cities. And it is a multi-billion opportunity for Stobox and for repository RWA, because there are a lot of assets that repository RWA has access to that can be tokenized on the Stobox 4. So we started this journey. I visited repository both of the offices in the Florida state, and met in person James Trade, the CEO of the company, together with the team. So it is a pleasure to us to start this journey, and it is great that we can announce during this webinar our collaboration and already the first client on the Stobox 4. So thank you, Jean. Thank you, James. Thank you, team. And this journey started, and I see unlimited opportunities for our organization.
Yeah, tokenizing real estate with Stobox 4. Easy process that allows to fractionalize the highly costed assets and offer them throughout the globe in a compliant way. That's exactly what we've been doing, and now what we'll continue doing, but on a better rails, on a better technology, enterprise grade, and so on. So on that perfect note, we are moving on, and I kindly ask Ross to go through the registration process. We now will have kind of two elements where we'll go through the registration and show you guys how it's easy to create a Stobox wallet, to register with Stobox 4. And after this, I will go through on the platform, show you what is the functionalities that are available right now, and then we continue with our slide presentation. So I kindly ask Ross to...
Okay, sure. Let me remove and add my screen to the stage.
Okay.
So please confirm, Jean, that you see the registration page.
Yes, I do see the screen. This is the beautiful screen of our Stobox4.io. Beautiful designs. We have a beautiful team, beautiful vision, beautiful technology. You can test it now for yourself. And again, this is just the beginning. We will have a very high quality standards in everything that we do, and it can be seen now. So please, Ross, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Perfect. So let's start our practical session and practical demo, and we will start from the early beginning, from the registration process. So my main goal, it is to provide visually you the understanding and the understanding of the process and how easy it is to register with the Stobox 4. So you can log in if you have your existing account through the Google or through the email and password. If you already registered with Stobox, I will start from scratch. So I press the button, sign up with the email. I providing my email, password. So it is much more simpler than, for example, register with Facebook or any other traditional social media or financial service. So the next step, it is to verify my email. So I see already the email in my email box that I already provided before. So I'm just copy it, press continue, and I see that I have already provided the credentials or already conducted the email confirmation, and I'm moving to the stage number 3, their account creation. So what is my name? I'm Ross. Last name, Shem. Country, let's keep it Spain. So the next step, it is there to create my MPC case. And it is a beautiful technology that we utilize that is provided by the Fireblocks. And Fireblocks, it is #1 wallet provider in the industry that is utilized by BlackRock, by Binance US, and many other recognized providers. So this technology allows you to so the private key of your wallet will be split into two parts. The first part will be held by the Fireblocks, and the second is by user. So it provides you the opportunity to restore your account if you will lose access, because as you may know, if you utilize the Web3 technology and Web3 services, you have your seed phrase with 12 words, and if you will lose it, you lose the access for account forever. But MPC wallet that we utilize for the Stobox 4, it provides you a seamless and very smooth onboarding process without any headache of the registration and saving your seed phrase, but with ability to restore it. And if, for example, your account will be hacked, the hacker will not have the access to the full private key, because another part will be held by the Fireblocks, and vice versa. If something bad will happen with Fireblocks that never existed before, you still will have your half of the private key, and you will hold your assets by yourself. So this beauty technology provides their easiest investors onboarding and more secure process of managing your wallet. So let's press generate my wallet, and
I
we
would like
see
to
that.
comment here.
Please do.
Sorry, I would like to comment. I would say, look, the MPC technology. First of all, read about the MPC technologies. It allows, first of all, to stay compliant, and as well as to actually hold your funds. We as Stobox have no access to the funds, and it's of a primary importance. If you lose you can add devices, you can do a lot of things with MPC technologies, but please make sure that you don't lose your backup file. Backup file is the key to actually restore. You can add different devices. It's all under the full compliance and the technological compliance according to the standards of the enterprises. But it's important that, first of all, Stobox doesn't hold the keys, doesn't hold the funds, and it's up to the users to actually save their backup file. Please, Ross.
Yes, I call it Web 2.5. So in this case, it is a simple investors onboarding. It's still Web3 because you own your assets, you own your private key that you can withdraw, that you can add multiple devices. But in case you can restore it easily with the Fireblocks. So now I need to generate my backup file, and you see that I already spent like 3 seconds to provide the credentials, 3 seconds to provide my email, around 10 seconds to create a new account by providing just my name, surname, and their country, 30 seconds to create the MPC case, and now the backup. So all of the process takes like 1 minute. So now I need to download my backup keys to my PC, right, to be able to, for example, add new devices or restore my account. So now I need to upload it so the system can verify that I uploaded the right information, and that in reality I store the backup in my device. So I press go back to public page.
You can drag and drop it.
Yes.
You just grab the file and move it to that component, and it should work.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, anyhow, I cannot upload it yet, but I think Gene, you can provide their main screen once their backup file will be provided.
Yeah, there might be some technical difficulties with you. There shouldn't be any challenges. You guys can now go to stobox4.io, register, do the same. Please hold your backup file, download it, save it somewhere. And again, you can take any device and join this device to your main Stobox 4 infrastructure by, yeah, I think Ross is doing this. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so I
now we are.
uploaded the right file. So we entered their main page of their Stobox 4 platform, and Jean will show it further, right? Correct?
Yes, let's do so. Let me just get that screen. Okay, now you see my screen. Perfect. So this is the main page or the dashboard of Stobox 4. Again, we're still in beta, so you don't see much, and it will be much better in future. But you still have you have a choice, and you have a variability of what you can do here. So as an investor, as a B2C user, you can actually have access to your wallet, and this is your wallet where you can hold your crypto, where you have the access to certain RWAs that are already listed on the market, like Paxos Gold, like Ondo US dollar, or tokenized gold from Tether. And this is the place where you will see the security tokens purchased from the issuers that issue on Stobox 4. And we are we're developing this kind of in parallel to the main core functionalities. You can have access, and you will have access to certain DeFi applications. Because of the compliance, we make sure that not every DeFi is accessible. We have to kind of protect and make sure that whoever DeFi we provide as a regulated platform is decent. So we will have access to Uniswap, for example. You'll have access to Aave, to some sort of institutional grade DeFi platforms. And we have to protect our users. If you're looking to kind of very open Web3 experience, this is not exactly our case. Here we actually have to be more protective, and again, as I say, more compliant, because we deal with the regulated assets. So this part, as you may see, is your wallet part, your personal part. Uh, yeah, your personal wallet, and you can do anything with this. Uh, this I can talk about the digital identities and how we bridge Web 2 data, Web 3 data, but I think we will come to this at a bit later stages. Let's focus on the business side, right? Let's focus on the ability and how a company can create an asset, right? Now, tokenized asset. So we have a business section, and it's available now to anyone who registers, not with these elements being open, because that's elements that are locked under the subscriptions that are coming live in July. However, we already have that technology ready. We already can. I will show you what's the capabilities of the existing beta 1.83. So here you have kind of more detailed information on the wallet itself, how you can tokenize, and what are the core functions. Uh, I will go through this in a more presentation form. What's interesting is the start. How you start. You start
Exactly,
with
exactly.
a
And
framework.
start
Yes,
is
please,
very
Ross.
important. So let me, Jean, share the screen, and I will show the start of the process because I can conduct it.
Okay, let's do this way. I'm
So
removing
I'm
you and adding us.
Yes,
Right. Wait.
please add my
Yes.
screen on the screen. So look, gentlemen, as Jean described, on the left side, you have the main page, Stobox 4, where you can create your wallet. I already created where you can verify your identity and where you can start the tokenization process. On the left side, where you see the business suite, case suite, it is the environment for business. So when I press it from learn more or here, I'm entering my business environment. And you see that all of the information is locked because I haven't provided their information yet. So I can press start my tokenization process, and I can start creating my company. So what is the business name? It is Stobox company. Country of residence, so let's keep it Spain. Industry, banking, website, let's keep it stobox.io. My phone number. Okay, I provided my phone number. Then start my tokenization journey. Okay.
You have to include HTTPS
I see.
as a validation. Okay.
Okay. Then tokenization planning. So it is the description of our methodology. So currently I already entered the tokenization methodology that I described before, and it is the first phase. The first phase, it is start your tokenization case. So let's start. So define tokenization strategy. What I will tokenize? I will tokenize a single asset. Okay. Then tokenization objectives. What I want to reach, what I want to reach through the Stobox for, reach more investors. Okay, next stage. It is their underlying asset. What is the asset class? It will be the equity with the underlying asset business revenue. Okay, the next stage. Enter the estimated value of asset. Let's keep it $1 million. The next step is jurisdiction of their underlying asset. It will be their, let's keep it with Singapore. Their SPV will be the Singapore. Select your eligible investors type. It will be the accredited qualified investors. The next step, it is choose your target investors region. So we see here the North America, European Union, United Kingdom, Switzerland, Asia Pacific, Gulf, Turkey, Latin, and Africa. So it will be the European Union. So the first phase is completed. I provided this information, and once I will purchase the subscription to the Stobox 4, I will be able to access another part that Jean will show to you now.
Thank you, Russ. I'm adding myself. So what Ross has just showed you is the first step of onboarding, the first step of the framework. But this is first out of 8 steps, and we're not going to go through the all of the steps, but we say phases. So 8 phases comprises of around 100 steps, and that's an advanced tool to be able to tokenize an asset in a compliant way under the regulations. So it's not about just creating a token, but it consists of asset structuring and legal readiness. So if your asset is legally verified and how it's structured, that's an important point, and it's a critical point. All of these points are, by the way, critical. So we want to make sure that the investors and issuers are aligned in a way that the assets that are being offered are of a premium quality. It's not something you create from a pumpfund.com, for example, or that's on the other way of the on the other edge. It's a legally ready process to adapt in order to create something that investors would believe, because the trust is the key element to what we're doing. You as an issuer have to make sure that there's an investor between you as an issuer and an investor. So we as Stobox have to build a technology that enables this trust. And once we go down, we see there's a definition of a token model. There's a different token models, and depending on which model you choose, it can be a revenue share model, it can be debt model, it can be hybrid model. We implement 8 different models that work differently depending on your case, and not only depending on your desire, on your vision, but also on the regulatory framework that you that you adapt. So if you're tokenizing, let's say, an asset in BVI and the asset is somewhere in Europe, you have to make sure that these ties are valid and the tax regime are valid and the funds that you acquire from the STO process can be cleared in the European Union. So all of these questions are of a great importance when we come to real life businesses, not just hype around the blockchain creating a token. And moving down, only then we have a token economics and smart contract configuration. We define the issuing framework, like what is the SPV that where you tokenize the asset? Is it legally verified? Is there a KYB process? Know your business. Is it a valid company? So all this data is acquired and thoroughly checked before, within the validation process. And as we go along, we see there's certain emphasis to legal documentation that ought to be provided. There's elements where an issuer has to understand the framework of the offering, whether or not you offer these security tokens to accredited investors in the United States, or you offer them to public investors in Europe under prospective regulations of a small offerings exemption. So all of the comprehensive stuff, all the regulations are kind of brought to you and digested in something that we show to you at the moment. And once that is ready, and again, you can utilize and you will be able to use AI here for your assistance. If that is not enough, I just want to say that we, for the last 6 years, we're providing our customers, our business clients with a turnkey approach and with a full support. So you can always rely on us and we will assist you and help you not only with our means, but with the means of our service providers, with the different legal providers, fundraising providers, maybe the best practice, how you can tokenize in your own region, in your own jurisdiction. So once that is compiled and kind of realized, because it's an important step for a business, right? You're not just creating a token, you're moving to the blockchain, right? You're moving your corporate assets to the blockchain. It's a very responsible act, right? So it has to be done, properly. And this is exactly this is our way of properness that we built for you and for your benefits and benefits of your investors. And once that's done, the final step would be validation. And we have a series of what we call service providers. I will mention them in the later part. We can validate, and they can validate the information that you provide, and only then you would be allowed to actually create a token, to mint a token that is perfectly attached to your company, to yourself as a director, for example, or to a member of that company, regardless, as a shareholder, doesn't matter. So that builds trust between you as an issuer and investor, not just the token itself. So that's something with respect to the framework. We've been doing this for the last year. That's quintessence of the knowledge put to AI, and it would be a great tool for you to actually play with. And I'm sure there'll be much more assets, much more adoption with this type of approach. Ross, if you have anything to comment, that's exactly the time.
No, thanks. Let's move on.
Okay, so that's the framework I've just mentioned to you. You have a section of company profile. Here is I've logged into a different company called Real Mint Miami. We did it just for the purpose of the testing. There is no real company like Real Mint Miami. So you have an ability to go through the KYB process and make sure that your investors are happy with the fact that you're not just some DAO or anonymous. You're a verified business with legal identifiers that you may have, like employee identification number in the case of United States or other. There's a different the different data points that can verify you as a business that you can embed and therefore build trust as well as the social media that also can be connected here and shown. But when we say shown, that's something I would I would deliberately emphasize right now. So something called public page, and what we're showing you guys, it's still kind of designless. That's still an beta mode, but let me show you something parallel to this.
Yeah, so
I will.
by providing this information in the public page section, it will result in the working website that Jean will share with you now. So as I mentioned a few minutes before, together with Stobox 4, right, you will get their Stobox methodology, AI, and issues public page that Jean presenting now. So by filling out
Yes,
this form in their public issues page in the Stobox 4, it will allows you to deploy your website in this design.
absolutely. So you have your Stobox 4 environments. You you are subscribed. You are a user, a business user of Stobox 4. So you can create your own website under your domain. And this is a first examples of these domains, of this website, where you have your own logo, you have your own domain. In this case, we can share it with you. It's public.rwanow.xyz. That's just for the purposes of Ross. If you could kindly share this with our chat. Again, this is not a real company. This is not a real tokenized business. That's just for the as an example. So anyone can now, even before creating a token, minting an asset, has the ability of creating your own website and actually sharing your case with the world. So you will have your verified company, you will have your contact details. Your token is still under the development, which is fine. And here, again, unfortunately, some UI elements are still being worked on. But here you have your own custom headings, custom points that you customize, and you show your team, you show the public files that you want to show. So you just create an extension of your business publicly without even need to go to tokenization. You can test the waters, and I will show you right now. You can test the waters with that tool by connecting your domain, by setting it up, doing your case, and in the meantime, as you go through the tokenization framework, that might take some time, you can already share this website with your community, spread the word, and most importantly, you have the button connect. So anyone that would like to, be a part of your business would be able to connect a Stobox 4 wallet that's already compliant, that's already with the KYC and the AML elements, and basically invest in your business once the token is live. It's as simple as this. So you go through the framework parallel to the fact that you build the public website and you share the website, and once you release the token, it's easily can be bought and sold because all the compliance, all the hard work, all the checks are being done seamlessly to you. So that's the technology we're working on, and that's the easiness of the products that we develop. Let me move back from that kind of first demo uh, public page. I'm moving back to the environment.
Yes, so to sum up, easy registration process, the Stobox methodology that you get on how to tokenize assets together with the Stobox AI and your own domain portal, so website that Jean showed to you and that I posted in the chat as an example. So it goes everything together with the Stobox 4.
Um, yes, and most importantly, it's not just the website. We build it in a way that it's reached with sale data, with the metadata, with the social links. So it would be easy grabbed by Google and shown. So, when you type certain keywords like business, whatever your business is. So by customizing this element, your public page, you would actually make your case, better shown to the public. And actually, we make it for you, so your case will be better shown than the other cases. For example, we know that it's quite difficult to compete, and it will be more difficult to compete on the tokenization field, but we do our best to bring all of the tools, marketing tools within this page. And as the result, if somebody logs into your page even before your asset is tokenized, you haven't created a token yet, you already will see the interest from a potential investors. So I can log into your domain, into your Stobox 4, and you will see that I've been there. I showed my interest. You can now. It's not ready yet, but we will add some integrations with the mailings, so You'll be able to contact your investors and actually drive your tokenization directly to your investors with this type of tools. So these type of tools are available only for our business clients, and again, you can within the free with a free membership, you can start your tokenization case. You can use the wallet, but and actually go through the phase one. But if you want to have access to tokenization framework, to the company profile, and to be able to launch a public website and see the investors who are logging into you, that's already a part of our paid subscriptions. And here we move on to the final part, back to our slides. Back to our slides.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So imagine that you need to onboard investors to your platform that we provide for you. Because I will point out also additionally that Stobox 4 is a SaaS platform. So it's not the marketplace where we place third-party securities, for example, repository RWA, or for example their Landshare or any other projects. We provide the SaaS solution for each project under their domain. So when investors will follow repository.com, they will see their Stobox 4 under the hood and will be able to log in not to Stobox 4, but to the repository RWA on the Stobox 4. So repository RWA will see all of their investors because it's a SaaS platform, and your investors will be able to easily register, as I showed to you, or connect their existing wallets, see on the issuers page that goes together with Stobox for the information about your project, the information about your security token, and with the Stobox 4, purchase the shares of your company in 2 clicks. So as you see, all of this all of this process technically is super easy and super clean. But under the hood, it is 15 months of the development and 7 years of the experience. So the same how you purchase your goods in grocery through their Apple Pay, and you have no idea how Visa and MasterCards providing this technology under the hood together with NFC provided by Apple, right? The same we develop for tokenization. So it looks clean, it looks smooth, it is easy, but under the hood, it is zones of models their STV3 protocol where we deploy the assets, our own oracles, and STO model, price oracles, decentralized identity, and so on. So our goal of Stobox was simplify this process to have a better investors onboarding experience, but to keep it innovative, to keep it compliant, and to be ahead any other solutions that exist as for now.
Thank you, Russ. That's exactly right. And I just want to mention here that this advanced technologies are not we're not building it without any dependencies or without any partnership. We, from the wallet perspective, we rely on the Fireblocks infrastructure. We are connected to the chain link in the way of proof of reserves and the data-rich tokens I will mention now. We are using the KYC, know your customer, know your business, and know your transaction and the travel rule models using a sub integration. We have a great partners from the marketing perspective, RWAs. We are building the factory or all the tokens that we will be minting and creating. Primarily will be on the Arbitrum chain. And there's a new, very prominent blockchain that has recently emerged, Plume. There is a lot of potential with Plume that will also be onboarding Plume as the part of our ecosystem for the minting and for the creation of the security tokens on that specific network. So let me just go through them shortly with different elements. Again, that's already available, so you have an access to your compliant business wallet. Why it's business? Because it's not just a Web3. It's a blockchain address attached to identity, regardless if it's a personal identity or business identity, and all the transactions that are being made within the Stobox 4 are recognized as a compliant transactions. And you can pay friends, you can pay salaries, you can utilize this on your own, on your own vision. The technology is here for you to leverage, and that's exactly the wallet that will be used for asset tokenization. There's a huge emphasis on what we call data-rich tokens, and that comes back to the narrative of a trust. Look, it's not about the token. It's about the asset, right? And you, at some point, buying a tokenized asset should have less risks than buying than a non-tokenized asset. And in order for that change to happen, I mean, now you're not going to buy an apartment that is, you're not going to invest $100,000, for example, in a token. You need trust. So the token itself should embed certain elements from Web2 registries, like where this asset is coming from. Is there an asset? Is there a proof of reserves? If there is a proof of legitimacy, there is no legal ties to that asset, and all of this data should be provided in a token to you from the issuer perspective and from the investor perspective to be able to bridge that trust. And again, it's not about just the technology. It's about how, it's not about the Web3 technology. It's about the merging between Web2 legacy databases around the world with the data onto Web3 in order for assets to be live, not only from the trading perspective, but from the legitimacy of itself. Maybe this asset is, I don't know, is in the court. Maybe there is some ties to this asset. Maybe there's a problem with that asset, and you would never know unless this data is being pushed on chain. And this concept is very much pushed by Chainlink. We are, we're adopting that vision. We think that's a great, great move, and we're part of the, building our assets with respect to the data richness and and that's of a key importance. So please note that all of the data points that I go through the framework, that one way or another will be a part of the token that is shown to your investors for the better trust of your tokenization project. The next part is obviously everybody is looking for trading. So why would you tokenize if you don't have a secondary market? We actually were one of the we developed the first DEX for security tokens and brought this product 3.5 years ago to the Binance blockchain. Now we move further and we integrate both Web 2 and Web 3 partners for the secondary trading. We have T0, for example, INX as the regulated Web 2 exchanges. Centralized exchanges, exactly, Ross, thank you, for security tokens, because security tokens cannot be traded on any exchange like Binance or Gate or whatever. They are securities, so those type of venues don't have sufficient licenses. These guys do. And we also build our own interface on top of the Uniswap and 1inch in order to use their technology, but with our way of compliance and with our addition with respect to tokenized assets. So that will be available down in October, again as the part of our roadmap. And everybody is looking, with respect to tokenization from the investor side, like, how do I benefit? So the business has to distribute dividends. It has to be successful. Investors look at you from the your asset page, and everybody expects the yield. Everybody expects some gains from your business because you tokenize. So we also bring this as a very easy to digest, easy to use elements, so you can reward your investors with one click, auto payments, and so on. That's also will be available down in Q4 actually this year. Yes, and that's something in a nutshell. The platform is again, Stobox 4 is a unified platform for all participants. So we have a room for investors, and you can actually scan this QR code, or actually go and check it out and register as an investor. Or in less than 2 months, we will have first tokens ready, first clients being deployed. So you can benefit from this, investing into the clients of Stobox using that technology that we've explained. This is a business presentation, so we make the main focus on the companies that looking to tokenize their assets. So this is please register with Stobox 4, fill in the first phase. We will see that, we will come to you, and we will continue our journey together. The full subscription will be available in the mid-July, but nevertheless, you already see the functionality. So if you guys want to kick off faster, we have the means to do so. And the last, but it's a very important point, that we would be stuck without our service providers. And the service providers, we mean that any legal company, any consulting company, financial professionals, whoever would like to contribute to the tokenization, bring clients, deliver services to the clients, it can be done through the Stobox 4, where we bring the technology, we bring the assets, we bring whatever we've discussed already, and service providers will be able to validate, so bring your own clients, benefit, earn from this. So there's an opportunity to actually unlock a new business, a new revenue stream for you as a service providers, because you have the commissions on every dollar that are being spent on the platform. You as a service provider, you'll be you'll have the commission on that. And if you're a legal provider, you actually can verify your own clients, bring your own clients, verify your own clients, do not depend on us. If you're a legal provider, we just onboard you as a service provider. We build the trust and make sure that your companies, your clients that are tokenizing would use our technology, but would use your legal expertise on your market. For example, in UAE, in Dubai, there's a different regulations. So we already have service providers from United States, from Dubai, from UAE, what I mean. So we don't have to gain perfect knowledge. We embed the knowledge into the framework, right? So everybody can use it. But in order to, be very precise, we advise, always to have a local touch. So we welcome service providers to participate in Stobox 4. Yeah, and that's
Mhm.
a great opportunity for all of the participants to be part of the Stobox family. Please,
Yes,
Ross.
so within the Stobox 4, we have three main roles or three main audiences. It is the investor that invest in real world assets, right? It is the businesses that would like to tokenize themselves, and service providers like consulting companies, legal companies, fundraising companies, and so on. So you can become the investors and invest in their RWA projects, or tokenize your business, or provide some kind of services for their Stobox clients by having your service provider account within their Stobox 4. And I remind you that Stobox 4 is a SaaS platform. SaaS means software as a service that we deploy for each client under their domain. So Stobox in this respect is a technical provider and client is an operator.
Exactly. So let us just briefly go through what's coming. We're now in June, so we begin onboarding business customers that were ready to tokenize their businesses. So welcome, guys, and spread the word. It would be better for the market and for us and for the issuers. In July, we open business subscriptions that go live. We provide it along with the tokenization framework that we've shared with you, and AI. It's a self-guided tokenization that's now being possible. Again, you can always rely on us. You can rely on the service providers, but you can start doing it by yourself. And that's also in July, your investor portal that actually I showed to you before. In August, we have the plans to actually to deploy the minting functionality, which means that the data-rich tokens will be live. So whoever does goes through the framework and it will be verified can be live in less than 2 months, right? Which is a absolutely amazing speed for this kind of activities. You tokenize within less than 2 months. You'll have your token and beautifully presented. And in September, we will be launching a STO module. So basically, we won't be able to offer that tokens before September, but once we open this, all of the STOs can be live. But also acknowledge that starting from July, starting from now, you already can create your dedicated investor portal under your domain. So you can already do some marketing. You can onboard investors, and you see the activity behind them, how you share this information with them, and if there's a chemistry, then you would go with the token deployment, and then you would go with STO. And starting from October onwards, not only the DAX or decentralized trading activation or module will be available, but there's a lot of kind of features, advancements, and tweaks that we are implementing in Stobox 4. So we're just in the beginning of, we just making it public, right? We've been developing for more than a year, and now we are offering this to you, and we'll be gradually developing and gradually enhancing the product for your guys' benefit and benefits of your investors. So, yes, welcome to the asset tokenization with Stobox 4. And I would like, on the kind of last slides, I would like to share a bit of pricing with you. Again, the full pricing plans will be available only by contacting us. So you have to get a quote from us. But what we know exactly is that we have the subscription model in place, and this is a tokenization pricing for the issuers. So the business account for an issuer costs only $1,000 a month. And for that $1,000, you have, first of all, your compliant infrastructure, compliant wallet that we've discussed. You have an access to a framework that we've discussed and AI assistant. So you can start actually filling it out and figuring out for yourself whether or not it's yours or what challenges do you face. And with that, we also include 2 hours of our dedicated expertise where you can speak to us, speak to our professionals on the delivery side, ask questions, and we'll help you and assist you with your case. And for that, in the subscription, you have your investor portal on your domain. So basically, you have enough tools to share your future tokenization case with your community. You will see you don't have to engage lawyers at this stage. You don't have to spend a fortune, risk, $30,000 to $70,000 just to test the waters. You can do testing for yourself with as low as $1,000 per month of the subscription. You do the same as I showed you today by adding data on the public page, connecting your public page to your public domain, and actually offer this to your investors. You can see how they engage. And if that is okay with you, if you see that that's your path and you would like to continue, the minting of the token or creating the tokenized asset would be 3,700, or in other words, it's 2,500 for the activation and 1,200 for a yearly subscription. So if you see that that's yours, you run through the framework and it's validated, only then you would pay 3,700 for the token deployment that already has data rich format. It's limited to certain data fits, but a lot of information that you put on the framework will be available to you at this price. And it goes with the 2 STO kind of the offerings regulated. So you can create, one offering dedicated for US accredited investors, and the second offering, let's say, focused on European public investors. So we decided, and we deliberately did so in order to divide the risks. And we know how many of you would like to kind of test tokenization without spending too much funds, or without going too much into details of in the beginning of your journey. So that's why we decided to kind of separate the the functions between the public website and investor portal, and your ability to actually create the case with or without our help, but anyway with the help of AI, and use all the compliance tools for you as is. And if that suits you, it's comfortable for you, you see the opportunity of your business going global, and there's definitely a lot of opportunities for that. Only then you pay for the token and actually unlock it for your investors. The last but not the least, we have our we have Stobox has its own utility token. It's a token that is available to it's a digital asset that is available in different exchanges. More information about this can be found on CoinMarketCap, for example. We're not gonna share too much details on that, but Stobox token is a part of Stobox 4, and it will be utilized in um, multiple places of the technology. But what we are sharing with you now is already the fact that we provide 25% discounts on at the moment to all of the subscribers, all of the businesses that would like to tokenize with us. If you pay with Stobox tokens, you will have an additional discount. More information will be available on in our chats, in our communities. So it's up to you whether to utilize our tokens as a form of the payment. It's not necessary. You can use other ways of payments to unlock your account, but that gives an additional discounts, and we will provide additional benefits for people who utilize Stobox tokens for their activities on the Stobox 4. Thank you very much, Ross. Please comment. And this is the last slide of our presentation. We also have to respect time. So thank you. And Ross, please.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so as I mentioned in the beginning, we build the scalable rules. So currently, Stobox is able to onboard thousands of projects because of its own scalability. What scalability? Their easy registration process, their subscription-based model, the SaaS model that we deploy for each client, their tokenization framework that we provide, the AI that goes together with the Stobox 4, the issuers page that is tied to the Stobox 4 platform and will be provided to the issuer. So in this case, thousands of people can enter and unlock tokenization for their business and get benefit from it. And it is exactly our mission to bring tokenization on the street. And now it is affordable, and now it is clean, clear, and smooth. And I'm really, really glad that we have a chance now to present it, and that it took for us more than 15 months to develop what you see now, because under the hood, it is very complex models and very complex compliance processes. And just in the last few months, we obtained 2 licenses in Europe, in Qatar for this technology, and gone through all of the due deals of the regulators. And great that we presented it, and I'm sure that we have a lot of potential here.
So yes, thank you, Ross. So guys, please register, please contact us, or start your tokenization journey, spread the word, become service providers, become users, adapt tokenization in your businesses, leverage this. It's a great technology, and we will be here to facilitate, to bring the best technology, expertise, and turnkey elements for your investors and for your cases. So thanks for being with us for that quite long time, and it's a pleasure for us to be here. Thank you, Ross, for co-sharing this floor with me today, and thank you everyone for the participation. All the best to you.
Thank you, Jens.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.